Wonderful to see you all here this morning. So today we're going to talk about spiritualism. Go figure. You know, spiritualism is a complete package. So, you know, it's summertime, and a lot of the times now that we're able to travel and move around a little bit more, people are looking for packages, vacation packages, where everything's included. You get your breakfast, at least one meal, those type of things. And you want that together. So spiritualism is the complete package. Spiritualism is a science, philosophy, and religion of continuous life based on the demonstrated fact of communication by means of mediumship with those who live in the world of spirit. A spiritualist is one who bases his or her religion in the communication between this and that spirit world by means of mediumship, and who endeavors to mold his or her character in accordance with the highest teachings from that. So having said that, spiritualism is a science. Now, all of you are scientists. How many of you don't believe me? Okay. I'm going to tell you you are, because we have had this recent outbreak of this vaccine, right? And how many of you researched which vaccine to get and all the side effects? And most of you have. You are a scientist because you analyze and classify facts. Every day you go through this. When you're talking about your financial aspects, you're analyzing, right? Are you not? If you're in the stock market, what's a good stock? What's, how do I pay my bills? What is my budget? You analyze continuously. And that is a scientist in the sense of a word. Because you're analyzing everything that comes into you. Even your normal life, even when you're not doing those particular things. You're analyzing things. You analyze people. And if you don't think you do, check, because you do. You analyze your drive. You analyze your family life. You analyze your family and those involved. So you are a scientist. And what are you looking for in this life? And that's a pretty deep question. Most people can say, well, financial security, health, a good job, a partner. Most of us can say that. But when you start to look inside yourself, because we know as spiritualists that we go on. We're going to shed this body and we are going to go live in the spirit world as a spirit being. And the good news is the work that you do here, you get to take with you. So if you want to live a more complete life, start now. Start investigating and analyzing the things that are inside you, your thoughts, your feelings. Because all of those are based on what has happened to you in your life. Are they not? If you judge something as one way, somebody else may see it completely different. As was mentioned, I was sitting in traffic today, bumper to bumper, not moving. And I thought, oh, these people have to move, I have to get to church. And then I said, you know what? I'm going to go within. And I'm going to reach and touch that part of me that is not Sharon. And I said to Spirit, okay, you know what? I'm going to let this go. If you want me there, then get me there. And strangely enough, about 5 to 10 minutes later, they rerouted us. I don't think I've ever been going down an on-ramp, but, it was a new experience. So yes, we analyze all day long. And then there was a part of me that thought, okay, so how do I get there from here? Is there a road that I can get off of and maneuver around? Well, I have a GPS. Just because sometimes I get thinking and talking with Spirit, and you know, I start thinking of other things, and at least it says turn left in 3/4 of a mile, so I know I'm going the right way. Well, my GPS had a fit. You're going down the wrong way. Yes, I know. I'm told to by the police, so it's okay. But then you start analyzing. Every step, everything you do in your life, trust me, you're analyzing it. So you are a scientist. Philosophy. Well, philosophers, what they do is they collect knowledge from the world, and they try to make it into one whole. They try to combine it so that it makes good sense, and it's a way of life. Spiritualism is a philosophy, because we don't stand up here and tell you and talk with you on Sundays about things without living that way. A philosophy is something that you take and you hold and you grasp it and you bring it into your internalness, and you live by that. We have principles that explain our philosophy. Do those principles change? On occasion. Yes, they do. Because as our knowledge grows, so do we. And the way you live your life, as I said before, when you leave this world and go to the spirit world, you're not miraculously transformed with little angel wings and go flying all around. It doesn't happen that way. But what you do is you take who you are, how you live. It was interesting because I saw, how many of you know the old movie Ghosts? Have you seen that movie? It was on this past weekend. I know, I was like, I'm going to watch that. And just so you know, every time you see something different, you read something different, you watch a different movie, you're in a different place. So you see different things. And wasn't Sam Wheat a good man? He was a good man. Because he lived with love in his heart. That's Patrick Swayze, for those of you who haven't. I know all the women know who he is. But he took that and he lived with love in his heart and doing good for other people. Even in the last part, when he donated that, what was it, $4 million or something? He donated it to charity because that's who he was inside. He was a good person. He lived with his philosophy. He took it in and he demonstrated that every day. One of the main philosophies that is present in all religions is do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Sounds very simple, right? But sometimes it's very difficult to live by. But if you can keep that forefront in your mind, how can I help? How can I serve? What can I do to shine my light and to put forth the knowledge of spiritualism that I have? It's a continual learning process. I am a grader of the Morris Pratt Institute, and for those of you who are interested, please see me because we'll get you in touch with that. It's the 30 correspondence lessons, and they take you through different ideas, different philosophies, different thoughts, so you can be well-rounded. Are we saying that you have to believe this way? No. But it's ideas and principles that we have and we take and we live with each and every day. And you know in your own mind whether you're living according to your own principles, do you not? You know when you do right or wrong, don't you? I mean, I would hope so by now. Most of us are adults. And you get that little thing inside of you that says, shouldn't have done that. Or should have been a little nicer. We're all human. We all do it. But go within and look at your principles. Look at what you are taught as right and wrong. Are you living by that? Our other principle, we make our own happiness or unhappiness as we obey or disobey nature's physical and spiritual laws. You know, our philosophy can shift on a dime. If you've lost somebody and they've been a major part of your life, doesn't that turn you upside down? It does. But the philosophy of spiritualism, knowing that we continue after the change called death. We go on, we don't stop being. Our loved ones are not saying, oh, well, out of the body, I don't need them anymore. No, they're around us. They love us. And sometimes we get a little help from them if you're headed down the wrong pathway. But you have to ask. You know, they're not going to live your life for you. This is your time to live philosophy. And there are many of you who were brought up in other religions, as was I, and you take things from those, and you take the learning, and you put it together. Philosophers love wisdom, which kind of sort of relates back to scientists, because they love to learn, they love to know, they love to put things together and analyze. So you have that philosophy. You know what's going on, even if you think you don't know. But what does it take? It takes that time to take a deep breath and relax and go within and ask your inner self. Because there's a part of us that is not this body. And it's that spark of the divine within us. That's the part of us that goes on. And we can gain that wisdom and we can gain that knowledge from connecting with Spirit. Connecting with that part inside of us. Asking to live, like I said, as a spiritualist, for the highest and the best. Because when you do that, will your life be perfect? Not perfect, but it'll be a lot better. The last part is religion. Religion can sometimes have a real bad connotation, because you think of religion as being told what to do and how to live and what you should and shouldn't do. But you gain that from philosophy. And analyzing what worked and what didn't work before. But the religion is complying with the physical, mental, and spiritual laws of nature, which are God's laws. They're natural law. Spiritualist lives by natural law and our principles. When you get into trouble in your life, look, see what's going on. Is it a natural law that you've ignored or that you've forgotten? Law of vibration, law of attraction, law of cause and effect. There's too many to even mention here. But those natural laws can help guide you. Have you ever walked into the room and the room been very negative and you could feel that energy? But you know what? You can shift that through the law of vibration and the law of attraction. Especially if you've gone into work and people have been grouchy. I know that never happens, but in case it did. You can shift that energy. But you can't go, okay, well, I'm going to learn this natural law and that natural law, and that's it. I should be good. Because they're all intertwined. The law of love, the law of life. They're all intertwined. And part of living a religion and a philosophy is looking at people from that divine spark inside of them. Not from the exterior, but from the interior. Spiritualism is very open-minded. We accept everybody, no matter where your beliefs are. Which may come as a shock to you because we don't convert people. We want you to take the knowledge that we give you through the science and philosophy and religion and natural laws and see if it fits for you. It fits for me 100% of the time. You know, we are our religion. We are our philosophical background. You know, you've met people that all of a sudden you're just like, we just connect. That's because you're connecting with that divine spark inside of them. From the interior rather from the exterior. And how wonderful if in the world everybody would do that. And stop looking at people and saying, oh, well, they're too big, they're too fat, they're too... We're all one, we're all the same, and you know what? This is just a body. It's just a tool that we've gotten here so that we can maneuver through this universe. But seeing that divine spark can switch somebody just like that. I used to work in the emergency department. And we had a lady, I think I said this before, we had a lady who came in who was very, very angry, very upset. Her child was sick, had an earache for a couple of days. And she came up and she was just so upset because nobody had seen her child. And when I first started studying spiritualism, I thought, you know what? Law of vibration. And you know what? I said, I salute the spirit in you. And I looked at her and I totally tried to get my spirit and her spirit connected. And just give her love. Because what she wasn't saying was that I've been up for 2 weeks with a crying baby that I can't get to stop crying. I don't know what to do. The doctor gave it medicine. It's not working. And I said, in my mind, I said, there's a spark of the divine in her. And I want to see that spark. Now it was probably 10 or 15 minutes later. And she came back up and she said, you know, I'm so sorry. She goes, I just haven't had any sleep. I've been dealing with a crying baby. You can shift that in people. Natural law. It's a working sequence and order among the universe. Everything functions according to natural law. Everything. You know, it's just like gravity. Gravity doesn't say, okay, well, I'm going to work for you, but I'm not going to work for them. It works for everybody. It's a law. It's a natural law. And once you tap into those, and once you understand those natural laws, start to shift your philosophy, and you can start to shift the science, and you can start researching to learn more. It's about that love and that spark within each one of us. That's our religion. That's how we make it in life, is these three things. Science, philosophy, and religion. Period. You know, I'm going to use this in a broad term. Religious people started to think of, wow, we're really doing wrong. We need something higher to believe in so that we can shoot for. Even way back when they had the idols and the gods and all of that, they wanted something bigger to hold on to. But if you think about it, this something was outside of themselves, right? But what we have to hold on to is that spirit inside. Live your life according to the highest and the best vibration of you, because you're wonderful. You are a part of that spirit. And you're going to go on after this life. And you're still going to be able to visit those people. And if you choose to, yes, you can visit people who you've lost in the spirit world. It's just the same as it is here. The spirit world is the same as our world. It's as real to them as our world is to us. It's just a different vibration. Law of vibration. So when you go back and you think about that you want the full package, think about spiritualism. See if it works for you. It's a science. Mediums have been tested. Even the Fox sisters, they were tested under some of the most ungodly procedures that you could ever imagine. They were stripped naked, tied to chairs. Their feet were bound. And still, they were able to touch in with spirit. And spirit was able to touch in with those around them. This is proven science. This is a philosophy. And it's also a religion. God bless you all.